November 15th, 2001, the original. The story revolves around these giant rotating rings. They're like continent-scale space habitats. Well, they're not just space habitats, they're actually weapons in the story.
Shut them down, we'll need them later.
My main interest is the animation that we're looking at. The ability for the artist to be able to convey the idea in a visual way. Not just a visual way, but with a storyline that you can play along. So major kudos to Microsoft, actually, for backing this video game.
Did anyone else make it?
Scanning. Just dust and echoes. We're all that's left. We did what we had to do. For Earth. An entire Covenant armada obliterated, and the Flood. We had no choice. Halo. It's finished.
No. I think we're just getting started.
Yeah, you are. Because 20 years later, you're still going, Master Chief.
Where a concentration of energy collects, and when fully charged, sends out a pulse in all directions. The pulse then travels at faster than light speeds.
No sound here, I don't know why. What a great animation, though. I think I know why there wasn't any songs. There was no sound there. The first time I uploaded this video, there was a copyright problem, and then I had other audio issues, so that was like a year and a half ago, and now I'm uploading it again. Okay, Planet ES. This is kind of, I guess, the beginning of where there was a bunch of Japanese media. Planet ES, there's a couple other storylines and versions of rotating space colonies in Japanese movies and comics and things like that.
Com system multi-channel check. Do you copy?
Battlestar Galactica. One I really should have watched more of. Again, I didn't get into Battlestar Galactica. I have to apologize, but my main interest is the physical structures. I don't get into every storyline that takes place on rotating space habitats. I'm just mainly interested in the designs. So Battlestar Galactica, that was like a small ship. So Eric Bruneton produces another video in 2004. Wait till you see this, is great. And he spent years you know, developing his 3D models and animations. And I don't think he had like the kind of software that we have now. From what I read about him, it was some pretty cheesy software that they was using to make this. I don't think a lot of people could make this today with modern software. A lot of people would be stunned. How do I do this? How do I make everything follow this curve? You know, all the different plants and stuff. All the buildings have to follow the same curve without being placed there individually, because that would just take your entire life. How did he build this? How did he make it? I used to sit here and watch this video many years ago. I used to just sit here and fly through the space habitat. It was so cool. This video is a little long, but I enjoy every second of it. I hope you do too. How do they have a plane flying through it? Come on. She wouldn't have to have atmosphere. Yikes. Did he create all these models? Be interesting to know if you could really see that clearly that far. I guess it depends on a lot of things. I mean, of course you could use like zoom cameras, but with the atmosphere and everything and the bending of light and stuff. This is cool. Put a space shuttle in there. 2006. Okay, and here's 2000. Here's Al Globus's Kalpana 1. This is a later animation made in 2014, but the same guy who made the Lewis 1 colony in the early 90s created this Kalpana 1 design in 2006 and published it in 2006. And the name Kalpana comes from one of the astronauts who died on the Columbia disaster, a female astronaut. And this was like a huge improvement over his earlier design, the Lewis 1. This is a huge improvement over a lot of designs. I mean, this includes a lot more aspects to it. The Citadel from Mass Effect. I'm just gonna be honest, I don't really like that design. I mean, they tried to use a rotating space habitat. It's just not a believable one.
Look at that monster. Its main gun could rip through the barriers in any ship in the Alliance fleet.
Good thing it's on our side then.
Citadel Control, this is SSV Normandy, requesting permission to land.
Stand by for clearance, Normandy. Clearance granted. You may begin your approach. Transferring you to an Alliance operator.
So now we're getting into the YouTube era. This is Harry Fragomatic Papadopoulos. He goes by Fragomatic on his videos, but I found out his name is Harry Papadopoulos. He's from Australia. I think Sydney. Yeah. Look at the detail in this animation. 2008. I'll show you why I'm so amazed by all these animations. You'll see my own work in this video in a little bit, around the 2010 era. That's when I'll show you my own animations. But I'm greatly appreciative of Mr. Papadopoulos and his efforts. You'll see why. I mean, he contributes a lot of the rotating space gravity animations that you can find on YouTube. They're great. Game called X from 2008. Might have heard of it back then, but I don't think I ever downloaded it, never played it. Again, this video is just kind of including every mention that I could find published about rotating space colonies, from the earliest mentions all the way up to around 2019.